you'll see that after we have this presentation, you might change things around a bit. You might sit in a different place. You might have a different background. You might work on your lighting just a little bit. And so that's kind of what I want all of us to sort of be thinking about as we go through this presentation and do the next videos or the next Zoom meeting that you're on. So raise of hands, how many of you are dealing with Zoom fatigue? Like you've probably had 3 meetings already this morning. You've got 3 more this afternoon, or you've got 2 more that are important before the end of the week. Zoom fatigue is a real thing. And before 2020, I probably would not have said that could have been a thing. Like, cause I've been doing Zoom meetings for years, but now that everything is on Zoom, my kids are upstairs are on Zoom. It's a real thing. It is a real thing. And so I want you to know that what we're talking about today can help with that, I think. And I'll tell you why. So how many of you are impressed that you're on Zoom so much and you turn on your cameras when you are not feeling the fatigue and you actually are beginning to like it? And you can say yes, like you like are proud of yourself that you are seeing a skill set, and a way to connect with people that maybe you didn't realize was a thing before. Raise your hand, please. It's okay to love it. Like it is okay to really enjoy it. And maybe that's why you're here, because you're trying to figure out how to maximize that skill more. Totally okay. How many of you are busier than ever? Like busy, like you can't binge watch anything on Netflix busy. Like you're so busy, like busy. And how many of you need more business? And that's okay too. Like it's okay, because you may be in a place where you're busier than ever and making less. I felt it all, right? Maybe you're just busy because you're not sure why you're busy. All good. How many of you would love the chance to have a piece of really great content? Like something that when somebody says to you, hey, Sandra, hey, Michael, hey, Ivory, what do you do again? Like, what do you do? And then you could like direct them to a video, maybe on your YouTube channel, or maybe you have a video that's like in a super special place on Dropbox that you can send to them so they understand. Like they just know, oh, Claudia can help me with that. I just watched that video. It's like super simple. Like you created it this week and then you have it and it kind of works for you for years to come. Okay, months to come. Things are like, you might need to change some stuff around, but for months to come. How many of you would be interested in having that? Like, and that's what I see with my clients and students is like, they are busier than ever before, but they're also able to maximize that busyness because people are saying, Anne, what do you do again? And then Anne goes to like her Dropbox link, or she goes to like YouTube and is like, watch this. And you can figure out what I do. And then if you want more, then of course, give us a call and we'll sit down and talk with you. How many of you would like to create a resource for your clients? Like these are people who you're working with, who have already paid you, who want to pay more to you. If they only could have sort of a resource library and they could sort of learn from you, they could speed it up. They could slow-mo it. They can watch it over and over again. And you have done the work in the beginning and it's sort of done. How many would you like? I love that. That's what I've been creating over the last couple of years. And it's been the most fun. Like it has been the most fun. So, how many of you are seeing opportunities for video and you just want to get started? Like you're just like, I'm done. Like I'm ready. Okay. That's probably why you're here. So anyway, that's all. That was my whole Q&A. I just wanted to sort of get us all excited because, that's what I've seen. And that's where I have noticed the opportunity. And it's not so much being a YouTuber with 1 million views. I don't have that. But it's more about serving the clients we have and the clients who need to hear from us, and having video content, having content in general that they will find valuable. And so there's like that, like instant connection So if you offer something that this person wants, they know it right away. And if they don't know, if there's no connection, then you move on and it's all good. It just creates that connection and that understanding so much quicker and so much better. So let me share my screen. And so what I want to do is today we're going to just talk about that first step, because having a course or having a piece of content that you create can only be created once you get on video, right? I mean, so today we're going to talk about the foundation. Like today, it's all about having the clarity and the steps that you need to get started. So I really appreciate you being here. Put your as folks are joining us, let us know in the chat who you are, what it is you do, what your business is. I really believe that our businesses will grow through connections. Our businesses will grow through relationships. And sometimes it happens in the chat of webinars like this. So let people know what it is you do, have conversations in there. Feel free to post questions. I'm going to try and go through the questions, but I will tell you, I probably won't see them. So you might want to wait till the end to ask the questions, and then I will get to them. And I also like to do sort of like video, like take a look at your video kind of thing, if you want to do that as well at the end. So I'm going to share my screen. And if you have any problems hearing or seeing or anything, shout it out. I can see some of you, but I can't see all of you. So I can see Tasha. So Tasha can actually tell me if I can't see if you guys can't see me. All right. So the purpose of this program today is really to help you with the foundation, to really get you to, every time you're on a Zoom call, every time you're doing a Facebook Live, or if you're not quite there yet, you might get there. But every time you get to the point of, I'm going to create a video, that you look at some things that help you create something that is professional, that's polished, that helps you be seen as the expert in your industry, help you be seen in that way by the people who need to see you in that way. I hope that makes sense. So we'll really be talking about getting you started and helping you really look at video in a different way. It's not big, bad, and scary. It may feel that way, but I think after this Zoom 2020 world that we're in, I think we're kind of seeing the possibilities and the opportunities. So for those of you who are not familiar with me, my name is Cheryl Tan. I have lived in the Hampton Roads area for 17 years now. We thought when we moved here, I can't believe that. When we first moved here that many years ago, we thought we would, we thought we'd leave in 2 years after our jobs would advance us to a level where we'd move to another city. Some of you may know my background is in television news. I have worked in TV news for a very, very long time. And that's why I know we would move from city to city. We'd move from station to station. We were so, movers and shakers, like we were doing all that. And then 17 years later, we're still here. We've grown a family. And in that time, I left my job in television news that I loved. It was a fantastic career, but I wanted to do something more. And some of you may be in that same boat. You realize you want to do something more. You want to impact more people. You want more people to hear what you've learned. And video is a great way to do that. And that's what I realized too, is when I started my business in 2014, I was helping them get media attention. I was helping them with PR and visibility and publicity through getting their stories told by my journalist friends. Not my friends, but you know what I mean? Like I was helping them connect with journalists. And then I realized about a year or two after that something had shifted, kind of like the video revolution. And the skills that I'd learned in front of the camera was very, very valuable to business owners, because a couple of years after I started my company, Facebook Live launched. Blab, if you guys are familiar with Blab, it was like one of the first live streaming services. Twitter was live. And then, now YouTube Live and Instagram Live and LinkedIn Live, all of that has happened. But that's when things shifted and business owners realized that they, with the phone that they have in their hand, with the laptop that I'm sitting in front of right now, you can really create your own platform. It's powerful. And so I transitioned, understanding, kind of reading what was out there, that the skills that I was developing in front of the camera, those skills I could teach business owners right here and now. And it's been so much fun. I've worked with ODU, with the Women's Business Center for several years, and they've been a phenomenal partner because they bring together men and women who have a greater mission. And so my hope is to be able to take what I've learned over so many years, so many mistakes, and you'll hear more about that later, to help you understand that people really do need to hear what you have to say. So I've taught classes, I've done Zooms, I've done interviews, I've done thousands of interviews. And I take this knowledge to help you get to the place where you feel more comfortable on camera and to look and sound great on video. Okay, so any questions, please hold on to them. That's probably the best way to do that. And if you stay until the end, I'm going to share with you a free resource that I hope you'll be able to use and really look at as something that can help you get to the next level in video. So stay until the end and you'll get that. All right, so let's get started. Did you know, and I would probably say this number is higher now, but it's still pretty high. 93% of marketers say they've landed a new customer thanks to video on social media. And another statistic, which I think is really interesting, is by 2022, so in 2 years, 82% of internet traffic, all of internet traffic, is supposed to be video. I would say probably, and just anecdotally, as you're looking in your feed, you probably think 100% of it is video. But if you're looking at all of the things that are out there, a lot of what you're seeing and a lot of what you in particular are engaging with is likely video related. Some of you are readers. I like to read, by the way. I still get the newspaper. I'm a big reader, but I also like video in many ways because it lets me connect with the person on the other side. I also like to speed things up. So I'll like watch videos at 2 times the speed. If you do that, let me know too, because I like to maximize my time. But if you're like me, you like to connect with someone and that video lets you do that. The majority of business owners I talk with are just not sure how to get started. They don't know what kind of equipment they need. They don't know what to say. They're not sure how to win clients with video. So if that's you, you are in the right place. And if that is you, you're definitely not alone. Does it sound like you guys? Are you in agreement with that? Like you're not sure necessarily how to get started? If you have other questions, please let me know about that. Okay, so our agenda today is I want you to leave today knowing the equipment you're going to need so you can get started right now. Why you should get started, even if you've never been on camera before. And Zoom doesn't really count. It does because it helps you understand the power of it. But I mean, you on camera, just you, or you and a coworker or whatever. So Zoom is a little different, but if you've been on Zoom, great. But I want you to understand that you can do this, even if you've never been on camera before. While you need to create valuable content that your community will come to depend on. And then the one thing that you can do to create confidence on camera. Does that sound okay? Can I get a thumbs up, please? May I? Okay. Thank you, Tasha. So I wanted to share just some things from students. I run a video boot camp. Some of you have been a part of that. And for that, I thank you. This is one of my students in my video boot camp. This is Misty Lineberger. She is a local to Hampton Roads, although she works with people all over the country, in part because of video. I know actually, and because of videos. She said to me over and over again that she cannot overestimate the impact videos have had on her business. And before COVID, so before March of 2020, she had never done a video before. She is an accountant, an MBA, a CPA. She works with small businesses to help them with their money questions so that they're on track. And as you know, money is one of the things that you need to focus on to make sure you can continue to grow your business. But before March, she had never done a video. And I said to her, I'm like, why not? Like, you're so good at it. But it's where you may be struggling with, how do I get started? How do I have the right, how? Okay, no worries, no worry. But she had never done it. But she realized an opportunity in March because so many small businesses were struggling. Their businesses were shut down just like that. Or maybe they were so busy just like that. And the finances are one of those things that you are not sure who to ask questions of. You don't know who to trust. And she got on camera imperfectly. And by the way, we are all imperfectly doing that. But she would probably say imperfectly, she just got on, she turned on the camera. She didn't think about the background. She didn't think about lighting. It's all good. No judgment. And she knows I would say that to her. If she was here, I would say that. She knows that. But she started to help small business owners on camera, in particular with the PPP loans and some of the things dealing with finances that her clients needed to hear. And she basically just talked to her clients on camera, even though she was the only one in the room. And almost immediately, she started getting clients from people who needed to hear what she had to say, who understood she was a resource, who could see that who could see the way she worked with her clients, pretty much. And that's what you were doing in your videos if you were to do the same thing. And she went through my program and went through the process that we teach to do that and to create videos on a consistent basis. If you follow her, Misty Lineberger, she is no fail. She creates a video that she posts every single week. And if by some chance she can't, she will let you know that. Here's another one of my clients. If you follow her on social media, it really is unbelievable because she hated being in front of the camera. She hated it. And now you probably see one almost every day. Her name is Karina Carter. She owns a mortgage brokerage and is so, I don't know if I know she's comfortable on camera because she's used to it, but I don't know how I could have seen that way back then because she just hated it, but now is on camera all the time and gets connections and clients because she is showing up and sharing value on a consistent basis. What changed for them was having a video plan, and one I'm going to share with you before the end of our time together later. I hate it when people say, what is it? And then don't share. I hate that. But so I'm going to share with you the plan because what I have understood over time is the plan is one thing. It's helping people get through the plan that is where people might need support. So I offer that as well. But you need a plan. And these are all either clients or people I've spoken with on my podcast. And this is what they do. And this is where they have been able to connect with people as they are 100% consistent. They are just consistent, taking that plan and moving to that next thing. So what I want you to know is you can do this just like the people that you saw, just like the people that you saw. So here's my story is I want you to understand that we all start at the very beginning. And what I'm telling you today is the process I created because I have made every single video mistake. I started on camera right after college. So this was a long time ago. When I was a kid, I dreamed of being a teacher. And, I never really considered being a teacher in a sense, but I guess maybe this is part of that. So growing into this has been something I've really enjoyed. My first job in television was as a video tape editor in Richmond, Virginia. And we don't even use videotape anymore, if you know how long ago this was. But I am really interested in how videos are put together. But I also like to keep things very simple. So what I teach you is how to do things very simply. And I don't really think I'm an entrepreneur. I really don't. I just know what I know. And I want to share with you the things that I've learned, having worked in so many different newsrooms, having interviewed so many different people. And what I learned is that a guide can help you get where you want to go. And so that's where I want to be in this position for you. And that frameworks break things down. They will help you take action. They'll help you get to that place where you feel like you're getting to that next step. So here's the screenshot. This is it. This is the 5-step process to winning clients with video. It's helping you to create consistency. It's helping you create valuable content. It's helping you show up for the people who need to see what you have to say. So take a screenshot. It's very simple. And what I found is most frameworks they're very, very simple. Prepare, position, process, publish, and promote. And I've developed this it's maybe too simple, but it still works, that I've developed this over the last 4 years, and I keep looking at it and I keep thinking about how to make it better. But at the end of the day, these are the same steps, whether you are creating a video series for YouTube, or you're deciding to live stream, or you're deciding to live stream on a new platform, whether it is LinkedIn or Facebook or Instagram. You're trying to create playlists for your YouTube. You are trying to create an online program. Whatever it is you are deciding to do, this is what you can go back to over and over again, because it works every single time. But you need to have the steps that help get you to the place of confidence in each of these steps. So I want to go and dive deep into prepare, because where people get tripped up is they look at all of the YouTubers with the million followers and they think I have to start there. Or they think I'm in financial advising, or I'm in mortgage brokerage, or I'm a lawyer, or I have a multi-million-dollar business and I have to have all the best equipment out there. And I would say it's great. Like, if you have the budget, then I have a couple of list of equipment ideas that you can use. And I want to see how you put them in action, because great equipment is fantastic. And I love great equipment. But most of the time when people wait to save up to get great equipment, and I can list off numbers and letters and types of equipment all day long, but most of the time when people do that, they are waiting to start. And I, had a $30,000 camera when I first started in television. And it was, at the time, the best camera on the market. And my camera on my iPhone XR is better than that one right now. It's high def. It shoots great video. Like, it's really nice. And what I will tell you, about equipment is, most of the time, it's what's in our head is stopping us from putting that equipment together. So the camera equipment you probably have is just fine. The lighting you have, sit in front of a window. I do have an external light. I do like light. I love good light, because it helps people not see the bags under your eyes in some cases. So I do have some lights in here, but natural light is very flattering. And given the time of day that you're shooting your videos, can give you everything that you need. I do like good sound. So hold on. This is my microphone. It is an ATR 2100, and it is excellent. Like, it is an excellent microphone that I got for, I want to say it was under $50. Prices have gone up just a little bit because everyone is doing what you're doing and they're creating videos. So it may be like $60, but it will still be the best $60 that you spend if you decide to get this particular microphone. I have a resources list that's on my website at CherylTanMedia.com/resources, but I don't necessarily want you to focus on that just yet, because you can get all the stuff and it's good stuff. But if you record your videos in a quiet room, use the camera that you probably already have. That's probably nicer than my XR. This is my, again, iPhone XR. Androids are really nice phones too. And then sit in a room where the light is shining on you. Then you actually don't need to spend anything. And you can start right now. So preparing is one of those things that I think we think take a lot of time. And, when I'm preparing for a new live stream that I'm doing, whether it's on Instagram or YouTube or wherever, LinkedIn, wherever, or if I'm preparing for an online program, I do want to make sure that my set is the way I want it to be. Is it perfect? No, but it's uncluttered and it's clear, and you can see my face and you can hear me. And to me, when you're creating a video, unless you're creating a video that is a film, like a video that will be on stage, like presented on stage somewhere, then typically the video using the equipment you have is exactly what you need. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Let me know if you have any questions, because I want to address those things too. So The second part of this is positioning. So I created 2 weeks ago, I created an online program. And it would be my first like truly digital product. And what I mean by that is I've of course created videos before, I've created online programs before, but those programs like my video bootcamp program, that one is pretty it's pretty hands-on. It's where there's a lot of Q&A, there's a lot of me live as well as pre-recorded video that go together. But last weekend, so not 2 days ago, but weekend before that, I sat down over the course of one weekend and I created an online program, had like 8 videos. And this is my first true digital offering where if you bought it, that's it. Like you get everything that I'm giving, which is the videos, it is my downloads, my worksheets, everything that I think you need to really get started in video. So it's called the Video Kickstart. And so I sat down and I did everything that I'm telling you. So I want you to know that everything that I tell you are things that I do and the things that I focus on, which means they are things that I value. Is I batched my videos in order to save time. I did all 8 of them at once. Does that sound like a really long day? It was a really long day. Like, I'm not going to lie. It was a really long day and I had to kick my kids out of the house and then they came home and I messed me up and I yelled at them and it's what it is, right? But I shot those. I wrote the videos all at once. I shot the videos all at once. I edited all the videos all at once. And then I uploaded all the videos all at once. And the benefit of doing that is you have more energy. You're more efficient because you're not multitasking. We think we're really good multitaskers. And I will say we're really not, because if you've heard of the task switching consequences, where if I'm writing a script and then I'm shooting a script and then I'm editing a script, I've got to go from writing to shooting to editing mode. And they're actually 3 different types of skills. But if I just wrote, then I can see the patterns in what I'm writing. If I'm shooting, I can see the patterns in what I'm shooting. And the same goes with editing. You're more efficient. And you can really, if you take this from creating the online courses to actually having content that you can drip out over the course of a year, like once a week, let's say for the course of a year, you can take one day a month and create a month's worth of content in one sitting. And I love it when my students go through this and they do this, because they walk through the process in our video bootcamp program. And a bootcamp is what it is, right? I kick them into high gear, like kick their butts and get them going. Because what I've learned too is telling you how to do this is one thing, but actually having the accountability and the support to make that happen, that's like step 2. So when you're thinking about creating a program or you're deciding today, which I'd love for you to decide today, if you say, all right, Cheryl, I'm going to now create a video a week starting the first week in November, or starting the 3rd week in November, or starting the 1st week in January, I'm going to start creating one, or I'm going to start publishing one video a week. Well, how are you going to back that up? How are you going to take all those steps that you have, which is writing the script, coming up with the ideas, writing the scripts, sitting down and shooting, putting the editing process together, all of that? How will you back that up so you can say to me, Cheryl, I am going to start creating a video or start publishing a video a week starting the 1st week in January? Okay. What will you do? And so for me, I knew I wanted to create my digital product. I wanted it to be available for Black Friday. I want it to be available evergreen. I wanted it to be available. So if somebody says to me, hey, where are your best ideas on how to make this happen? Well, here's what I can offer you. It's $27. It's like a $27, like kind of a no-brainer. I wanted to create a no-brainer kind of thing. And you can too. So the 3rd step in this is creating content that your audience wants to hear, right? So how many of you struggle with that part? How many of you struggle with maybe you don't struggle with being on camera. Maybe you don't struggle with sitting in front and like actually talking, but how many of you struggle with actually thinking about creating content that your audience wants to hear? Raise your hand. maybe none of you. Okay, that's fine. I can't see all of you, but the ones that I see are not raising their hands. So if you do have a question about this or more about this, please put this in the chat. Okay. And what I will say is, if you don't know what your audience wants to hear, I know this sounds really simple. I know this sounds really simple, but I really want you to hear this, is to please ask them. And I've been asking you questions all morning, and you can do the same thing. You can pick up the phone, like people are doing, because they can't do in-person meetings, they're doing phone calls. Actually, I'm doing a lot more phone calls because, again, Zoom fatigue is a real thing. But doing a phone call with past clients, past customers, with potential clients, with potential customers, and just really asking them, what is it you're struggling with? What is it that you have a question about regarding mortgages or buying a new home or planning a wedding, or planning a wedding in a pandemic, or planning a wedding when there's so much uncertainty right now and 6 months from now or a year from now? There is still so much uncertainty. How do you plan a wedding like that? What are the questions that a bride should be asking? So if you don't know what your audience wants to hear, either ask them or listen when people are asking questions of you. Of course, one of the main questions people ask me is, how do I get over my fear of being on camera? So I answer that question in 100 different ways. I have PDFs, I have Facebook Lives in my Facebook group about that. I have YouTube videos, all different ways, all different headlines that answer the same question. So what your job is, if you're thinking about how do I figure out what kind of content to create, is to really not think about what you want to talk about. I want to talk about actually, I do like talking about this. I will not. So maybe it's the same thing for you, but is to really talk about what your audience wants to talk about. And bonus, if what they want to talk about is what you want to talk about, right? But if you don't know what that is, I really, really encourage you to ask them, because that's really the most important part of this. Is if you are asking a room full of your ideal clients and customers, like you may be for me, right? Maybe, then it behooves me to answer the questions that you are asking. It really does. So ask them and then use their words. Like, use their words in the titles, use their words when you are telling them about that particular piece of content, but use their words. So, I did some media training recently for a local organization, and some of the jargon that they use in their industry, right? Jargon could be anything. And so I'll share some jargon from the TV industry. For reporters, jargon would be like a VO, which is short for video. So when you are watching a television news program and you see the anchor reading, and then you see the anchor talking about something, and then video pops up, that's what we call a VO. I know it sounds like it's very simple, but that's what we call it. And when you are seeing the anchor say something on camera, and then you see the VO pop up, and then you hear somebody else talking, like you hear Karina, my mortgage broker expert, say something about mortgages, and you just see her on camera, that's called a sound on tape, an SOT. So a VO SOT. But if I had to explain that all day long, right? If I had to explain that, and I didn't explain it, how about that? And I just started talking about VOSOTs all day long, you'll be like, what is she talking about? So I encourage you, as you are answering questions, is to stay away from jargon. Stay away from the VOSOTs. Stay away from the VOs. Stay away from the sound on tapes, because that will not help create that relationship, because your viewer has to first understand, what are you talking about? What exactly does she mean? And it's okay to start, to use specific terms, but you have to really understand where your audience is at that point. So one of the bonus steps I really want you to embody, like I really want you to take away from this, is something I say to my students all the time, is that practice makes confident. It practice makes confident. And if you remember what it was like when you first started on Zoom on March 16th or March 17th, when your boss said, you're going to be on Zoom, congratulations, or you're going to be on Google Meet, congratulations. And then now how much more confident you feel, how just mechanical it feels like. Oh, let me log into Zoom. Let me make sure my audio is turned off. Let me make sure that I'm in the screen and all of that. But now it's like what you know. And the same goes for video. The same really goes for video. The power of video is, though, once you get past that first level, that first wave, right? That first wave of knowing what you're doing, then you get to level up. What I want to go back to, actually, hang on, let me go back to this. I forgot to, as I was going through all my things, oops, sorry about that. I want to go back to my 5 steps, because I think this is really a powerful thing to do that I realize I forgot to do. So if you guys see this slide, I'm going to make it bigger just a second. These are my 5-step. This is my 5-step process. And let me go through what that means. And I forgot to do that. I was in the middle of a story and then I forgot to tell you what the 5 steps are. So the first step is to prepare, right? We talked, I think, probably ad nauseum about the steps that you need to do to prepare your equipment, your messaging, to position yourself, which means how do you position your expertise, your product, your service, where it connects with the person who needs to hear you. So I like to use the example of Gucci and like the Geico Gecko, for example. Gucci, you can see the logo. I can see the logo in my head. It's very high end. It's very exclusive. And then the Geico Gecko is just insurance. And I don't mean that with any disrespect. Okay. It's insurance for the masses. How about that? And your messaging and your positioning and how you present yourself is what we talk about in step 2 to really reach the person who needs to reach you. The third is the process. And I talked probably ad nauseum too about batching and the process that you carry out that makes sense for you and how you get your videos out into the world. The 4th step in my no-fail video formula process is to publish. One of the things I always say is nobody will see a video you don't publish. I'm going to say that again because it's so true. Nobody will see a video you don't publish. And I'm going to go one step further back. No one sees a video you don't create. So if you don't create it, they can't see it. So all the time people are just like, oh, I'm not getting any engagement. Have you published anything? Like, have you posted it anywhere? And then the last part of this is promoting. It's one thing to create a piece of video, but it's noisy out there. Like, how noisy is it out there? And I appreciate you all being here because I know it's noisy, it's busy, you've got things to do, you're busier than ever. But if you don't promote what you've created, then no one is going to see. It will be hard for them to see what you've created. So I'd love for you to, in the chat, I can't see it right this moment, but I would love for you to, in the chat, put a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Where are you falling down? And maybe if you're not falling down, let's talk because I want to use you as someone who can help me. But where are you falling down? Are you falling down in the preparation part? Are you falling down in the positioning? Like you're not sure what to say exactly. How are you going to be seen as the Geico Gecko or as the Gucci bag, whichever one makes sense for you? Are you falling down in the process part? Like you're not just sure how to get from idea to execution? Are you falling down on the publishing? Like where do you even put your stuff? Or are you falling down on the promotion? Like you put it out there and you want to be done with it. And the promotion could be done by anyone else but you. So where are you in that? Put down a 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. I'd love to see that. And that will help me as we go into the next steps after I get to the part where I was before. So to recap, I really want you to hear this, is to start where you are. Just start where you are. When you are at a point where you're getting millions of views and followers. And when you're at that point, you can level up, and you can level up at any point in time, but I don't want the equipment or the part that is technically related to stop you from getting where you want to go, which means starting. Like, you have to start. Because remember, no one sees a video you don't create. And I want you to understand too that people need to hear what you have to say. So ask your audience if you don't know what it is that you want to hear. Ask your clients. You have a list probably of people you've worked with in the past. Sometimes I need this reminder myself, just so you know, that sometimes we just need to be reminded that having a conversation is picking up the phone and like actually talking and seeing how, especially today, right? And when things are so disjointed, but really just seeing how people are doing. And in that conversation, you may find out what it is they want to learn from you. And finally, remember what I said in 2022, by 2022, if not sooner, 82% of all internet traffic will be video. If you don't start showing up on video, your competitors will. They're probably already there. It does not mean that you can't be there. And it does not mean that you can't create really impactful relationships with your clients there. It does not mean that. But it does mean that as we get closer to that time, as when everything is going to be video, then it gets harder to catch up. And this is a great time. It is a great time to get started and do the things that you need to do to show up. You can definitely do this, just like my students in the video boot camp, just like people who are in my Facebook group, all of that. So I wanted to give you the free video hack series that I came up with. And it is something you can sign up for. Again, free, CherylTanMedia.com/waitlist. You'll receive a video for 3 days. So a video every day for 3 days, 3 videos. And if you're interested in the next live round of the video boot camp, it's happening right now. If you're interested, just let me know. Ask me questions. You can DM me. You can send me an email. You will get information on it once you sign up for CherylTanMedia.com/waitlist. But we'd love to have you. Love having people in our programs to really support them to create videos. Because sometimes, as I've noticed, we all need a kick in the butt. And that's the thing, right? And I just want you to know, I want you to be our next success story, right? I love seeing my students' videos, and I love to be able to share stories like Misty's and Karina's and other folks who've been a part of our programs, because that's how we're going to give other people inspiration to know that it works, and that it's not, the goal is not viral views. It can be your goal and it can be the result, but it's not the viral views that I'm after. It's actual connection and creating that relationship and figuring out for yourself whether you've got some clients out there that need to work with you and vice versa. They need to know that. And this is a great way to do that. Okay. So Anne says, Anne, is it okay? I'm just going to read what you said. She's found that she's more comfortable the more I'm on camera. Absolutely. It's fortunate that the opportunities I have had to be on camera with audiences that join because they're interested in program content. And, that's the thing. I love what you said, Anne. And I hope I'm going to read what she just said. She said that she's found that she's more comfortable the more that she is on camera, right? Practice makes confident. And it's fortunate that the opportunities that she's had to be on camera are with audiences that join because they're interested in the program content. And, that's one of the things that I think is so important for us to recognize, is that we're in a place right now where with our phones, with our laptops, we can create our own audiences. We can create our own platforms. Years and years and years and years and years ago, when I was first a reporter in Macon, Georgia, people had to go through me in order to get on television. Like, they had to go through me. I had to vet their story. I had to see if their story was something that my audience or my bosses would be interested in. And then my bosses had to sign off on those stories. But today, that doesn't have to happen. And I want you to know that is pretty incredible. It is pretty incredible if you figure out, if you unlock the key, or is that right? If you unlock the secrets, whatever, if you figure it out and can figure out with audiences that are interested what you can help them with, then it becomes really, really powerful. Will you tell me is this resonating? Is this interesting to you so far? If you could just let me know, that way I can help you with, if it's not, I'll find something that is. Okay, so Carla's asking, how do you ask them what they want to hear about if you're starting out and don't have a pre-established relationship with your target client yet? Her target is C-level corporates, and they're super hard to reach because they get approached by people they don't know all the time. Okay. This is such a great question. Here's what I would say. A couple of things. So Carla, and if you all have the same or similar questions, I'll tell you what I've done, right? So the question is, how do you ask people who you don't exactly know are your clients yet? And what I would always say first is, what problem do you solve? So I think we really, really need to start with the problem that you solve. And I don't exactly know what that is. So you found your target, which is great. It sounds like the C-level, the C-suite, your CEOs, your VPs, your HR folks, maybe like the head of HR, that kind of thing. But and that's very important because you already know that they're not necessarily going to take your call easily. Most likely, they're going to only if someone recommends you to them. That's my experience with that. Okay. Maybe you have found a different way, or you will find a different way, but in my mind, you're going to find them if you have the right solution to their problem. So you need to figure out what their problem is. So my problem that I solve is I help business owners. I also work with the C-suite too, because for those people, a lot of them are interested in leveling up in their careers and being thought leaders within their organizations. So they're career professionals, but maybe they are being put on stage. Maybe they are being vetted for that next level of leadership. And for me, so I'm going to tell you my steps, and then you can go with if this helps you. But for me, since I do media training, I do presentation coaching as well as helping businesses like you use video, but I help them present better on camera. That's like my sweet spot. Like I love that. Like all day long is help you present better on camera. And for the C-suite, that helps them. So what I do is when people come to me, I know that's what they want. But if I want to reach out to them, is when I speak, is I'm speaking directly to that issue. I'm speaking to that. And so we are not able to go and speak on stage now, right? So that's hurt me, right? That's hurt me for sure. And it maybe have hurt you. But when I speak on stage, I speak to that level of raising confidence. And because I'm a media trainer and because I do know people in the community, they know that I do that as well. That puts me in contact with folks in the C-suite. But for you, how this can help you is you being really clear on the problem that you solve. Because once you're clear on the problem that you solve, then you can also be clear on the solution that you offer. So for me, I offer coaching sessions where I put people on camera all day long. That's all I do. I put people on camera because I know practice makes confident. And once they get on camera, I know that they will get to the next level of confidence and comfort, and they'll keep doing it. But for you, and this is where it's really, really important that you are very specific of what the problem you solve is, what the problem is, and how you can solve it. You're not going to, and one more thing about that is what I've learned is, let's say you help with leadership training. I think leadership training is kind of a popular one. I look on LinkedIn and I see that all the time. I don't do leadership training, but it for you is going to have to be very specific. It can't be just generic leadership training. It's going to be, especially as we go into 2021, in a year that is like no other. You have leaders who are depressed. You have leaders who are trying to figure out how to lead a team. Maybe they're trying to figure out budgets that are shrinking. Maybe they're dealing with product lines that are expanding. And so if you are a leadership coach, then you're going to have to deal with either very specifically one of those issues, or maybe all of them, but it can't be all of them in one pitch. It's got to be very specific. I hope that makes sense. So that's not really video related, but as you can see, if you're talking about content that you can create for that CEO person or the board of directors to look at you as a leadership expert, you talking less generically about leadership training and more specifically about how to combat depression in your C-suite, something like that. That's not great. I know that, but something very specific that they're dealing with right now. How do you find that? You still need to find people to talk to. Maybe there are people here. Okay. So here again, it's preparation. So we've got some preparations. I'm sorry, I'm looking in the chat right now for all the numbers. Robin put all the numbers. That cracked me up. Positioning, content creation, preparation, processing, publishing. Yep. Promoting. Yeah, I'm with you. Look, I struggle with some of these too. I really struggle with the promotion part, I will tell you, which is why I hired somebody to help me with that. But at least once you know 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, you know where you can get help. You know what part you need support with. That's why I think it's so genius too, to have a place where you're looking at it. You're like, okay, well, I need help with the messaging. I need help with the processing. I need help with X, Y, and Z. Then you can figure out where things will help you with. Sandra says, yes, my son started with my old camera in high school. He just purchased a Red for his business. I've heard about that Red. I've heard about that. I want to test it, but not yet. Eyes on the prize, right? Eyes on the prize and creating video with what I have. And I'm using right now, this is a laptop, a MacBook, but I have a Logitech C920 that I'm using right now with it. Ivory's asking, will we be able to review the copy of today's instruction? Tasha is here. She is recording this presentation. I'm imagining she's probably going to give that to you. That's not a question for me. So Tasha, maybe if you can either put that in the chat, that would be very helpful. Thank you so much.
It will be available shortly after, I would say within the next couple of days.
Okay. So this presentation will be available for you. Awesome. Thank you for signing up for it. I hope it's been helpful, honestly. Like I do. And your questions really make it more valuable. Okay. So Carla is saying she works day to day out of her dining room. I have an open floor plan, first floor. This is not what I would use as a backdrop, but the overhead light. Okay. Carla, will you raise your hand and we'll go take a look at you. Sandra says that Macon, Georgia is her mom's hometown. I love Macon. It was the best. I love Macon. There's no reason why they should have hired me as an on-camera reporter. No reason. I was right out of college. But I left there as the main anchor. So let me tell you that you can, if you had seen my first videos, you can do this. There's no business. I had no business being on camera, like none. Okay. Let's see. Nia says, curious to know what type of microphone will work best for constant movement. She is a certified yoga instructor. Congratulations. There are, for microphones, there are lapel mics, so you clip them on. And for you, I would look at some wireless options. They are a little more expensive, as you would probably expect. They would be more expensive than a wired option. So I have a wired option for my cell phone. But for you, as you probably will have video taken of you full length, you will want one of the wired options. And so I have, I think in my resources, I believe I have some wired options in there. I know I have my wireless options, but look for that when you're going on Amazon. Okay. It's going to be trial and error, but actually some of them are they're actually very good. So I take that back. But trying out what you like is more what I mean. Okay. Caitlin says, I'm Edya, although my name shows as Caitlin. Sorry about that. Oh, but you can go click on your name and change your name if you want. She's with Crumb Snatcher, a local dog food baking business. Very cool. Okay, cool. And if you raise your hand, then I'll be able to do that. Okay. Perfect. All right. That's all I see in questions. If I missed a question, let me know. And if you have a new one, let me know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through, and for those who raise their hand, I'm just going to go through where you are. So Sandra, where are you? Can you raise your hand physically? Perfect. I'm going to ask you you can unmute, and I'm going to spotlight you. Okay. So do you do videos currently in that location?
I do. This is where I do my speech therapy. I'm doing talent therapy right now.
Yeah.
But when I make YouTube videos about my hair and makeup, I don't have this showing. Normally I'm sitting on the floor.
Yeah, with you. Yeah.
But I just want I want to do something about my background. I think it's busy, and I'm in a row house in DC. So I don't have a lot.
Are you really? How fun is that? Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, but I miss the space I had in my other house.
I know. I'm with you.
But I was thinking about getting a backdrop and moving to the wall over here because sometimes I have families that are looking.
They're looking at your stuff. Yeah, they're looking at your stuff.
So I just want a blank wall, and I was thinking about getting a gray screen.
No. Okay, no on the green screen. So let me tell you, let me respond. Let me respond to your question. So green screens are very difficult to
I said gray. I said like a gray background.
Oh, a gray screen. Yeah.
Right. Something gray. I went to a workshop yesterday because they told us to get green screens because there are things you can do for therapy.
Oh, yeah.
With a green screen, but I really don't want one.
No. So your question is, how can you make your background work for the work that you do, essentially, like your therapy work and what you're doing with clients? But you're good with your YouTube videos? Like you're okay with the way that is?
They're okay. I get feedback from my followers, which is but editing is a struggle for me, and lighting.
You have lights?
I do have a lot of lights because my son is a videographer, so he tells me. And I have makeup lights because I'm a makeup artist, so I have
Nice.
But
so here's what I would do. Like I'll just tell you what I would do. I know you have limited space, and it is super frustrating, right? It's so frustrating when you have so much that you want to do. I would get into a corner. I would just get into a corner because that allows you, and you're at a desk, right? Are you at a desk?
Sometimes I need a corner back there.
Yeah. Okay. I would get into a corner because that corner is where you have control.
Okay.
And that's what I have right now. Like, I know it's not perfect. I know it's not perfect back there, but it's clean and it's simple. And, I can put books back there. But you don't want to have books, and you want more of a streamlined, less like a minimalistic kind of background, it sounds like. I like the idea of a gray screen. I really like that idea. I do not like green screens because they are difficult to light, and it sounds like you might have the expertise in-house because of your son, but green screens are very difficult to light and they're big. So I would stay away unless you have that expertise. So I have a light in front of me. I have a giant light in front of me that is on me right now. And so do you have one on you right now?
I don't, because when I'm doing teletherapy, I do parent coaching, so it really doesn't matter about me. I painted the room white, and then I have like a daylight bulb over me. But normally I will have my light, this light on me, and then I have a couple of these.
Okay. Hang on. I'm trying to pin your video. Okay. So is your question that you want to make your video better for your therapy patients? It is. Okay.
No, I want to make my videos better for my makeup videos.
Oh, okay.
Then I also teach virtual makeup classes. Like I have one coming up in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I want my lighting to be better for that.
So your lighting has to be in front of you. I would turn off the overhead light today. Like turn the overhead light is not helpful because it looks like it's fluorescent, and you want video, and it looks like you have lights already. Like once you cut off the overhead light and have light focused on you, on your face, and you've got glasses. So Ivory had a question, I think I saw, about the shine on your glasses.
Yeah, I have
it's a little bit of trial and error, just like everything is, but you raise the light. Like, so lights are usually on a stand. You raise the light and angle them down on you. So once you turn off that overhead light, you are automatically going to be happier with your light situation.
Okay.
In which case then you deal with the background. So the background is, and if you have makeup videos, right? So it doesn't really matter where you are. I've seen YouTubers doing makeup videos in front of all kinds of backgrounds, usually in their bedroom. So if you want to have them in your bedroom, that's fine, I guess. If I'm sure your bedroom is lovely, but if you want to have them in the room that you're in right now, is why don't you set up because again, I like corners because everything behind you is controlled. So you can sit on the edge of that couch, and I don't know if that's a desk or if it's something that you can move toward you, or you can put the laptop on a stool of some sort in front of you. But if you do that, then the background is something you control. And so behind you, you could put your logo, I don't know, maybe you have a logo for your beauty channel that you can put on the wall, or you can put pictures of yourself behind you that are not distracting. But the white walls are a good thing. But do you see what I'm saying? Like if you, like this is a corner right here, but you would have that same simplicity if you wanted that as well, if you just back up.
Okay.
Does that answer your question?
It does. Do I need to light behind me too? Do I need to light the wall?
It depends on how close you are to the wall, and it depends on what kind of effect you want. Okay. So I have TikTok lights. I don't have them on right now, but TikTok, anybody have TikTok lights? Anybody have kids with TikTok? Yeah. TikTok lights are these little lights, like these strip lights, and they are colors. So they can be blue, purple, orange. And what you can do if you want to. Now, again, you've been creating videos, which means that you're going to continue to create videos, right? Which is good. That's really, really good. But if you are in a position where you're like, I need to get the TikTok lights and I need to get the lights in order to get started. No. So for you, you're not going to stop creating videos, it sounds like. But if you wanted to enhance the white wall, you would put the TikTok lights potentially like at the bottom. Like, so if you were closer to the wall, you could put the TikTok, you could put them on the bottom and it would light up. I don't have them with me, unfortunately, but you could light up the bottom. So from the bottom, that will create a little more interest in the white wall behind you. It's a nice effect. It was very popular like 4 months ago, like super popular. I don't see it as much anymore, but you can do that. I like to keep things simple. Probably noticed that. Like I like to keep things very simple. And if you can do that, create a simple background, then you will have, you will enjoy the videos that you create more. Was that helpful?
It was, yeah. I definitely need to do the boot camp too.
No. Well, I'd love to have you in it. I would love to. But you keep us posted. Let me know. I've got a free Facebook group. I changed the name. It's called Master Video Today. Welcome to join it. But if you want details on the boot camp, I'm happy to share those with you as well. You know what? Let me put it in the chat because I may forget. Free Facebook. Hold on. Free Facebook group. Just search Master Video Today because I don't want to go and and then video boot camp details are here. So, okay. So Ivory, I hope that answered your question. So again, focus the light higher. Okay. Have it angle down on you.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Yay. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to go to Carla next. And let's see. I'm going to unpin your video. Carla, I think I see you. Carla, how do I do this again? Let's see. I'm going to pin your video. Okay, cool. Carla, it's good to see you. You can unmute, which I think you are. Tell me, do you do videos currently?
No.
No.
I haven't
Okay.
done them yet. I need to get started.
Yay.
And this is where I work every day, just since I started working from home and also with my business. The light is right up here, and it's like almost behind me. It's a yellow, chandelier thing. So the light is awful. I do have a big window out here, but then of course it's my china cabinet behind me that I cannot get rid of. But I do work it's an open floor plan, first floor. So I say that because I don't know how that impacts the sound and all that stuff. But I do want to start creating content in video. So I'm open to suggestions.
Awesome. So are you working off a laptop right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Would you mind just doing me a favor? Okay. Yeah. The light overhead is a no-no. So the next time you create a video, we're going to turn that light off. Will you pick up your camera? Will you pick it up? Like, will you pick up your camera and bring me toward, do what?
Do you want a 360?
Yeah, I want you to pick up the camera and bring me toward the window. So I want you to face the window. I just want you guys to see what this looks like. Y'all, I just want you to see what this looks like. And I don't think, Sandra, you have a window in your office, which is why you can't do this. But y'all, seriously, there's
a window right here.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Turn off the light above you. I want to see that too, Sandra. When you get a chance.
I have to scoot around.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at this. Isn't that amazing? Okay. So lower yourself just a touch. Like, is there, yeah, I know you can't.
That's all
Never mind. But do you see the difference on how flattering that light is? She does not need to buy a light. What she will have to think about is what time of day she does her videos, because probably like for me, if in this office at 2 p.m, I'm blown out. Like I can't shoot any videos in here. But for her, you can do it in right now. Like it's a great light for you. Like it really is. Like you don't need to buy another light. You said it's an open floor plan. You are using earbuds. So if you don't have a microphone, you can use earbuds and it cuts down on the noise. I don't love seeing the earbuds, but please don't let that stop you. Like, hear me when I say that. Like, please don't let that stop you. It is more important that they hear you clearly. If you don't have any external noise, though, I mean, if you don't have a lot of noise, you might not even need. Oh, you have them. Is that a microphone?
Yeah, this is a microphone, but you still need something for the audio. So I really end up with the earbuds and this.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You need.
Well, you can plug in the back. You can plug the hearing parts of it.
Okay.
So it is only a microphone that I know of, anyway.
Oh, but the microphone will record. If you're just doing video and you don't need to hear, you don't.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
Yeah. I mean, if you're doing a Zoom, you'll want the mic. You want the earbuds because you want to hear me.
Right.
You don't want to disturb everyone else in your house. But if you're creating videos, then you don't need to wear them unless you want to. I mean,
yeah, no, I understand. So what do you think about?
You can go back where you were. I'm sorry. I just wanted to show this to you. Like
that's
if
fine.
you were to create a video, see the light and the difference, and then the background automatically changes. I
was going to ask you about that. What do you think about that background? I mean, I'm targeting C-level, the C-suite. So does this look?
Oh, you're the one targeting C-suite.
Yeah.
Get a corner. Find a corner.
And now that's the thing with a corner. Now, if I do a corner, I will be over there. So then the light,
how about your kitchen?
Window, in my kitchen.
I'm just looking behind you.
Yeah.
So
that will be one corner, but it's far away from the window.
You might need to go and look at some places. So look at places in your home and do what I'm doing with you right here. Pick up your laptop and see what might look behind you more, for lack of a better word, professional. Not that there's anything wrong with your background here, but it does look like you're at home. So which again, nothing wrong.
Nowadays, it's like the norm.
It is the norm, but let's pretend as much as we can, right? If you're going to talk to the C-suite, let's pretend that, I mean, they're at home too,
Yeah.
But, and so this is not a huge deal. It's not a deal breaker. It's not
Right.
something that you have to stress over. But since you're in the preparation, you're in step one right here.
Right.
You're here right now. Then pick up your camera or pick up your laptop and just sort of see, like, hey, if you're in that corner and you move aside the curtains,
Yeah.
maybe that looks good.
Maybe that will work.
Because that's not bad light there either. Maybe you could, the back of
light.
the light is okay. I want to move to your right. Move that curtain. It's not bad. I want you to move the chair. I don't love that chair because I can see it looks like a dining room chair. So think about, I just sort of, if what's going to be in the frame is what's in the frame. So just sort of think about that. And that would be something that could be, if I was in the C-suite, right? If I was interested in learning more about what you like, that is nondescript. It's like a background that doesn't tell me where you are, which is fine.
Gotcha.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
So Sandra, for example, she's coming back in actually, Tasha. I'm not sure why, but anyway, Sandra, for example, is doing YouTube videos on makeup. So for her, that could be a fine background too, but it's also fine for her to be in her bedroom.
Right. Yeah.
So just sort of think about who's going to be hearing what you have to say and how that can connect. Was this helpful?
Okay. Yes. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
Do you not recommend, there's that corner back there. Do you not recommend that corner? Is it too far away from that's like the other side of the window, like the window is in front and that corner is way back there. I don't think the light will be very good.
Test it out. You never know. Like I don't know. And it could be one of those things where that at 2 p.m. when the sun is blasting, that it does work for you. In which case you need to hurry up and do all your videos at 2 p.m.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So, and this is not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. If I had an external light, which means I have a light that's shining on me right now. Like if I had an external light, I would put one on you, but it's not bad. It is not bad. Like to me, it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't be something that would stop me.
It's not my china cabinet.
I like your china cabinet, but yeah. But maybe not for the videos for the C-suite.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'm going to come to you next. Let's see. And I'm not sure how I find you. So hold on just a second. And there you are. I'm going to put you up here, pin you. Okay. Hey, good to see you, Anne. Tell me what it is you do and what is, I actually asked everyone the same question. Do you do videos currently?
I have had the pleasure of being on many Zoom webinars. So I've not produced a video, but I've led several.
Awesome. That's great. And you may feel like many other folks here on the call that there's a lot of opportunity. Is that kind of what you're seeing? Like there's a lot of opportunity. There's a lot of great things happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the times when I'm on, if I can take the distraction off myself and put it more on my content, then I think the audience will listen better and not allow me to be a distraction. Basically.
Okay. What kind of videos do you create, or what kind of videos or kind of content would you be creating?
So I represent Norfolk, Visit Norfolk. I work for the Convention Bureau, as do several of my colleagues on the call. And we are charged with bringing conventions to Norfolk. And so I actually reside in the DC area. And so I'm talking by video to clients, prospective clients, but trying to get them interested in seeing their conferences happening in Norfolk so that when they do start thinking about hosting them again,
they think of us.
They'll remember us.
I love your mission. I love that. Okay. Can I, and so what's your question for me before
how is my screen presence? I will use the video background I have is of our botanical garden. So it's subtly telling people about one place that they can consider in Norfolk.
Can I be honest?
Totally.
I think it's beautiful. I think your background is beautiful, but this is the problem with backgrounds. Like this is the problem is like and I'm coming to you from just the point of view of, I want to keep it simple. And I want you all of us to be as professional looking as possible with what we have. Okay, so those three things. Is you're going in and out. Like do you notice your hair is going in and out? It's because of the background. It's because of a lot of things. It's lighting, because this is a Zoom background, right?
Yes.
It's because what kind of computer do you have?
A Dell.
It's a Dell. So there are some computers. I think there are some more, and I don't know all the technicalities, and I don't know all the specifications. So please forgive me about that. But there are some computers and some specifications that handle the Zoom backgrounds better. But it is not. This is no. So
Get off the Zoom.
now, what I can say is I get what you're saying. Like that you want, when you are doing Zoom calls, or when you're doing presentations, you want them to see Norfolk as the place to be. And that's a beautiful shot. Like it's absolutely beautiful. So there may be other ways for you to share this without having to use your Zoom background, because what I'd rather have you see is you said you're in DC. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Can we see your background? Or
No.
No. Okay. So then can we do something more plain? Maybe we can do something where you won't be, where you won't be.
I tend to move a lot too. So I think if I was stationary, it would be less noticeable.
Okay. But it's just, unfortunately, we want the message to be you. We want the message, especially on Zoom. We want the message to be you, and we want the message to be, we want the message to be clear, right? And I'm not sure. I didn't know this was Norfolk. I mean, it's beautiful, and I can see it now that you've said it. But I didn't necessarily know that. So I would love to see if we can find something maybe plain, something that can help you be seen in a way that helps what you're trying to share.
Right.
If I may.
Yeah. And we do have some new videos that we just received this morning that I will try out.
Okay. The problem with these Zoom backgrounds, and I'm just going to say this, it's the same with green screens, and the Zoom backgrounds are their cousin problems, I guess you might say, is with green screens is it's lighting. Is sometimes you're just not lit well. And if your green screen isn't lit as well as you being lit, then you're going to have the same issues. But with the Zoom background, some of the computers don't have the same capabilities, and some do. And I don't know which one is which. Sometimes there's settings, and maybe somebody here on the call knows that answer. But that's what I would say is, and I apologize. What do you think about what I just said?
I know that's true. It seems to be better than it used to be, but yeah, I think that especially in the hospitality industry, if we can give someone kind of a subtle message as we're communicating with them, I think that's a benefit to us.
Absolutely. And so for you're weighing, and that's what we are all doing. Like here, let me tell you the camera that I want to get a Sony A6400, right? I want to get that camera, but I'm not quite ready to spend $1,200 or all the things that I need. So I am weighing, right? I'm weighing the fact that I don't yet have that camera that would be better with the camera that I have. It's HD. It's a Logitech C920. I paid $60, $70 for it. It might be $80 now, because remember I told you about inflation with the whole COVID thing. So that's what you're doing, Anne. And 100% I agree with that. You are not letting it stop you. And so you just weigh, and I gave you my opinion.
Yeah, that's what I asked. I appreciate it.
No, absolutely. And so what I would suggest as something for you to think about is, if in the future, like maybe you already have this, is you have a takeaway, like a leave behind in the form of a link to a video of you on camera outside. And it can be outside. I know I think you said you're in DC, Northern Virginia, right? So if you're out there, maybe it's in your garden, you take a video, straight up background, where you talk about what Norfolk has to offer, and you can overlay pictures over your voice. You have that already?
No, but it's not going to be that hard to do. Actually, I did something in the spring when COVID first happened in my backyard, and it was very well received on LinkedIn. So I can appreciate what you're saying.
And so I appreciate everything that you're doing. I mean, I appreciate all of it. I would love for there to be something that they remember you by that is, with whatever the background is, just the video is you. And the video is actually you. And then you are talking about the botanical garden or, all the pretty trees or whatever it is that makes Norfolk the best place for their next event. And then you've got all those pictures that you can overlay over what you're saying. So that's all. Just put them together. Just put them together there.
Therein lies the challenge.
Do what? I'm sorry.
I said, and therein lies the challenge, and I'm up for it.
I know you are. I know you are, because it doesn't sound like that the camera part is the issue for some people. Again,
but I've had a lot of practice.
Yeah. I can't wait to see it. Like, I really can't wait to see it. As I live in our area too. And I want the conferences to come here. Like, I want them to come here. I want them to focus on this area. So this is something that I'd love to help you with. So, I'd love for you to feel confident. And, maybe in that time I can figure out a way to make what you have behind you work with, with what you're doing. It's all good. It's all good. Like, it is all good.
Well, thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for you, because it sounds like you're going to make a video for your mission, which I think will be really good. It'll be really exciting. Awesome. Any other questions for me?
No, thank you.
Okay. Does anyone, I don't see any other hands raised. I don't think I see any other hands raised. If I do, will you let me know, like, if I missed you? So the last thing I want to ask you, Ivory has a camera. Starter camera. Ivory, hang on just a second. Oh, right. Shoshana says a plain background. Right. Maybe. Definitely. You can have pictures behind you as well with the plain background. Ivory's question is starter camera for video. She's been doing live. This one right here. Your iPhone or your Android.
Or computer.
Oh, or computer. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. 100%.
That's why I do the virtual background, simply because behind me is my mask making room, because I have a tailoring and I've been making masks and shields for my clients, actually, for their weddings, and specializing in all the bling.
Why don't you want to show that? How many would like to see that?
Okay, here we go.
Did I miss something? Okay.
How do you do that? Oh, before it's over, I will figure out how to take this off, because right now I'm not technically savvy.
Okay.
That's the other part, is doing a video that's not live. I find I just hire a videographer.
Yeah.
And I go out to
100%
a location outdoors, because we're eco-friendly as a company and certified and licensed. And I just simply go for it and just have them video it. I did like 8 at one time, and then he edits them, gives them back to me, and I post them. So right now it's focusing on mask making. So the situation is, what's a good camera? Because it sounds like you're setting up a camera, doing your video, editing it like a professional videographer would, and then posting it. And that might make me more comfortable. Me handling the equipment and everything, it makes me a wreck. I do better if somebody else holds it and I just go for it.
Okay. So let me, you're asking a couple questions, but let me start off with this. The reason I created the video boot camp is because two things. Number one, I work with videographers too. And I love when videographers come and they do shoot my videos, and then I have videos and I walk away. Like, they do the work and I walk away. But in the world that we're in right now, is creating consistent content is something that I have chosen to focus on. And that would just be too cost prohibitive. So the video boot camp is what I created because if you want to create consistent content, you're going to need to know some of the parts yourself. And you can do live video, you can do pre-recorded video, but videos that you put on Instagram or YouTube, even Facebook, can be done by you, for you, with all the things that we teach you in the program. Because when Mr. Videographer comes to you, it's fine. Like, and he is going to do, he or she will do a great job. He or she will be reasonably priced. Everything will work for you in your favor, except you've got to wait on their timeline. That's the part. I am very impatient. I like to get things done right away. So if any of those are a barrier for you, then that's why I am teaching people how to shoot using their camera and then editing what they have and publishing what they have with the skills that they are learning. So Ivory, to answer your question, I use an iPhone. I use an iPhone on a tripod, and that's it. I use an iPhone, a tripod. I have a microphone that I tie into the camera, and I have an external light. I've used all kinds of cameras, and I have videographers that I work with, and they use all the kinds. They use Sony, they use Canon, I want to use that red. I have not used that red, but they have used all those. It increases the level of complexity a little bit. It's worth it. Your videos are beautiful. But as we talked about with Anne, you weigh, right? Is not having the DSLR, is that going to stop you? And for some people it may, but for some people it shouldn't. For some people, let's get our first 100 videos on the iPhone and then work up to getting the DSLR, the Sony a6400, the Sony XXII or whatever, all of the new ones that are out there. And there's some really great equipment, but they're expensive. So you've already paid for this.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap either.
You've already paid for it. So that's my answer to your question. I hope that helps.
This is my background.
Oh yeah. Let me spotlight you real quick. And then the last thing I want to do is I want to ask.
It's combination home office right now. And across this wall that you cannot see is a line of sewing machines.
Ivory, listen, I love your background. Turn your camera to your right. Do what you did before. Do what you just did. Do it, whatever you just did. Yeah, right there. How many people, if she does a story on how she's making masks so that her bridal events go off without a hitch, how many people are kind of excited about that? So this can be your background. Yeah. This is a travesty that you haven't done this.
And this is the plain wall. And that's a drape window behind the window. The biggest drawback I have is when I use an external light, I don't care where I put it, it's reflecting in my glasses. I can take my glasses off and I'm comfortable, but I don't think anybody knows it's really me because I'm known for wearing eyeglasses. So it's kind of like, you stand and hold them. So, and bags and sags and everything down.
Oh,
and the typical woman of, you don't think you look good enough on camera.
Stop. You are beautiful.
Well,
first of all. Second of all, these are problems that I think people wish they had because you've got options on either side. Your lighting is very good. What is the light that you're using?
Nothing. There's a light over my desk that's coming on, and then the overhead spotlights, because I have track lighting over my head.
It's not bad.
That's it.
It's not
fluorescent. It's not an eternal light. And if you see behind me the door, that is a complete room. That's an art room. Okay. Straight through. And there's 11 windows out there because we sketch, draw. So I could always go out there. But I'm more comfortable with a desktop and not holding anything. But I do have the tripod for the phone.
So move over to where you were, where you showed me the sewing. Move over to there. Right. So if you did have a light, so, I mean, maybe Ivory, like, I know you're not afraid of the camera. Like, I know that. Maybe
there is a big floor LED light that I use for sewing because when I sew, I light up the place like it's the 4th of July. So I have the spotlight.
So then put that on
natural lighting, the one on the desk and the sewing machine light.
Beam that on you. Okay. Raise it over you. Remember, so if normally the light's here for you, I want the light to be here.
Okay.
I want the light to be angled kind of like, I'll explain it. So higher than you angled toward you, and see, you're going to test it. So when you test it, you record yourself and watch the recording to see how it looks on your glasses.
Okay.
That's it. And then I want to see that. So I know you're in my Facebook group, so post a picture of that and see, or post a video of your testing. But when you do that, you will, you'll see, first of all, how it looks like, and you'll see the background. So what you want is, you want that background of the sewing machine, because that's very powerful, especially if that's what you're talking about. But you don't need to necessarily buy a new light, but if lighting does, it sounds like you don't need light now that I think about it. If you've got massive light, okay, I just need to see it. That's all. You just need to show me.
Okay.
That's all.
I just thought my room looked junky, and
no, I don't want to see all of it. I just want to see parts of it. So I want to see the sewing.
The sewing.
I want to see the sewing. If you want to show me the other background with the wall hanging, that's fine. But keep it focused. So, I mean, this is okay. This is okay because I can see. Yeah, I'd rather see the sewing. I'd rather see the sewing, or I'd rather see the work behind you, but keep it one or the other. And I think
when I do Storybook, my main company, I simply go to a different place in the house, usually another floor, and that has different lighting, and you set up the equipment and do that somewhere else. Just depends on the background.
You've just got a lot of options. Look, I agree with you when you say, I'm going to move everyone into the big screen. When you say, I like it when a videographer comes in and shoots video and I'm done. And I like that too. It's easier, it's faster, it's more expensive, but you have it done. The problem with that is you're on their timeline, and I like a little control. Can you tell? I like a little control, and I like having control over what I create. And this gives you that. Knowing what to do with this gives you control.
True.
So
I've been fortunate. I get them the next day, but I didn't know I was being spoiled now by what you're sharing.
100%. It takes weeks in some cases. So at least
had that
in my experience. So if you guys live with a videographer, be nice to that person and just run with it and tell me about it. Maybe you don't want to tell me about it, because then I would take them. But okay. So my last thing before we go, because we've got about 20 minutes, is just, I want to ask you, and I'd love for you to put this in the chat. Where do you want to be in a year? It does not have to be in video, but it can be. Where do you want to be in your business? Where do you want to be? I'd love for you to write that down in our chat, because this will help me and help you, I think, and help everyone who's here with other people see what the big visions are for the rest of us and for each of you. Where do you want to be in a year? Nice, Robin. Ivory saying she wants to have international events with event planning. Awesome. Robin wants to have commercials on TV. Cool. Edya. I'm not sure what that is, Edya. So you might need to help me out there. And so the second question I want you to answer is, how will video help you get there? Charlene wants to be a cleaning guru advising through video. 100%. Oh my gosh, yes. Rather than you doing the cleaning, teach other people how to do it. So good. How will video get you there? How will your video get you there? Yeah. Hubba. I'm not sure if you want to put your name in. 50% or more telehealth. Yeah. More remote patient monitoring. Wouldn't that be great? Tanisha wants to be leading the industry to focus on health and wellness for children post-COVID. So good. So good. How will video help you get there? Think about that. How will video help you get there? I can't even tell you how excited I am that you're here today. I thank you very much. I'm going to post the links again and my free Facebook group. Oh, and I forgot, if you want to get the video series, there it is. If I can help you in any way, please let me know. If you have any questions that I can answer, please let me know. And did you know you can save the chat? Did you know that? So if you wanted to, you can save it. If you wanted to catch up with other people here in this community, feel free to do so. Sorry. I don't want to speak for other folks, but I'm sure they would love to connect with you, as we're all businesses trying to grow and connect and be a resource for each other here in our community. I really, really appreciate your time. I hope I was able to help you see how this can be something you can use. If you have any feedback, I'm happy to take it. If you're like, oh, she should have done that. But there's a lot of steps to this process. And I know there's a lot of steps to this process, and it can feel really, really overwhelming. So my advice is just to start in the beginning, but get started. Start in the beginning and get started. And if I can help you, I'd love to do so. I put some links in the chat if I can, if you need them, or if you'd like to take a look at them. I'm going to also put my email if you want to reach out to me there. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, and if you want, before you leave, if you want to let me know what you'll do first, what video you'll create.